Yo, this video is for Jurepog. He asked me to do a how-to scream video. Um, you find out all the other ones all over YouTube. They all say, use your diaphragm, use your diaphragm. They don't explain to you actually how to do that. Basically, when you breathe normally with your lungs, and you'll see your chest rise and fall. If you breathe with your diaphragm, it looks like this. You're pulling air into your stomach, but it's your diaphragm, not your stomach. With that air is what you use to sing as well. You push it out across your vocal cords and it creates the note that you want. People don't sing with their throats, they sing with their stomachs. For screams, it's pretty much like a loophole in your voice. What happens is you have vocal cords that you speak with and they resonate in a synth wave, sort of like a wave, and you have false cords on the sides of your neck that protect your vocal cords or true cords. Say if you're yelling at somebody and you yell really loud, they'll come across to protect your vocal cords from ripping themselves to pieces and completely losing your voice. Basically what screaming is the manipulation of your false cords. You continuously bring them across your vocal cords to have them resonate with the sound that you're making to make a staccato sound, sort of like little scratchy lines, instead of a synth wave, which is what your normal voice sounds like. To do this, the best thing I could explain would be to sit for hours and hours on end and try to just get the sound of a scream, the rasp. So like, you want just the rasp. What I started doing was, most people can silently scream, like it sounds like a whisper when they're like, my yard, and it's just like a whisper. But that's actually what you're doing in a correct way, because you're basically, when you get that down, you're just missing the amplification, which is more air across your false cords, which takes practice. To practice, the only thing I could come up with was if you sit there, like I said, and push air out with your stomach. So first you want to practice breathing with your stomach, which is very easy. It's almost like instead of, like, use your mouth and suck in very, very slow amounts of air, but try and direct it into your stomach, like as if your stomach is filling with air, like sort of like a balloon being inflated. And then when you push out, try and get that scratch noise. After that, if you want to start trying to make a sound, you want to go after one specific pitch in your range. So usually you have the low, the mids, and the highs. People say that highs are harder. I actually started with highs, so it was easier for me to do that. Mid is usually pretty easy, and lows are, people say lows are pretty hard as well. You'll feel it in your throat. Your voice box will sort of shift to accommodate the pitch you're trying to achieve, which is basically the shape of your mouth. So if you want a high, you'd have your mouth like that. If you want a mid, it's anywhere from like here to wherever your mid-tone range is, and your lows would be almost like a closed mouth sound, and your voice box would accommodate what pitch you were trying to achieve. I sounded like a drowned rat for weeks on end. I didn't learn to exhale scream up until about a month ago when my band took off, but I was always doing inhales, and that actually helped me because the dynamics is pretty much the same. You're just learning how to, instead of pull air into your diaphragm over your false cords, you're learning to push the air out over the top of your false cords. So making the sound would be your first step, getting that rasp, and then practicing the rasp, and then making a first sound. So I sounded pretty crappy for a while. It sounded like a rat, and it was almost like a for a while, because your throat isn't, your vocal cords aren't used to having the false cords put over top of them. But eventually it will catch, and you will be able to control when you're screaming, when you're not screaming, if you're singing, screaming at the same time, whatever, you'll be able to control it. And you want it to end up coming out like, for that, I sounded like for a couple months. You learn to almost clench your throat. You feel it. It's a muscle that you'll feel come across. And you'll be able to keep the scream for as long as, you can breathe out, but that's about it. I hope this helped, and if you have any questions, bro, just message me on the comment, inbox me, whatever. Let me know what you think. Peace.